As you were at the top of the table over in the Premier League with Liverpool still remaining number one. That's right. But they did drop points, which opened up the doors for the likes of Chelsea and the chasing pack. And what about the fans and Tottenham Hotspur? Are they at their limit with Ange Ball? We'll talk about that and much more next. That's right, folks. Once again, another prediction video today. It's all about, I tell you, it's all about match day number 15 over in the Premier League, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe on your one-stop shop for Premier League, Babylon Rovers, Wolf football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. That's right. Liverpool are top. They're a 7-point gap over the nearest and dearest. That is Chelsea, with Arsenal and Man City making up a interesting-looking top four. But what about Tottenham? All the way down into 10th. Running out of time, or are they? We'll take a little look at all of it in a second. Big shout out to the members, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the patrons, you know who you are. What we're going to do now, though, is revisit the midweek games and then kick on forward to this weekend's drama. So sit tight, hold on, because here we go. Alrighty then, folks, here we go. Recapping the results from this past midweek. Stellar week of action, including big win for Crystal Palace. Of course, Glasgow is in full flux. 1-0 winners over Ipswich Town. I went the other way on that one. Meanwhile, Rude picked up a massive win over West Ham to put them in a bit of a limbo land, and what has now created what everyone's dubbed El Sacchio, which is going to be Monday night. What a game it's going to be. Wolves up against West Ham. Anyway, big win for Rude. Big win for Sean Dyche. Big 4-0 winners over Wolves to give them a bit of a relief down the foot. Meanwhile, Man City got back to winning ways. Comfortable 3-0 win over Forest. Again, all those three games I predicted the right result. Meanwhile, Newcastle putting a spanner in the works with a thrilling 3-3 encounter at St James's Park. No problems for Chelsea, though. 5-1 win over Southampton. Arsenal did the dirty on Man United, 2 set pieces. And, of course, Arsenal remain in the mixer there. Meanwhile, Aston Villa back to winning ways with a 3-1 win over Brentford. Fulham did the dirty on Brighton against my better judgment. And Spurs did lose to Bournemouth. What is going wrong with Tottenham Hotspur? Well, in the league, it might be going right. They do pick up some absolute banger results against the big boys. It is games, no disrespect to Bournemouth. Games like these is where they should be winning, but then failing to do so. But they are still in the mixer for both the League Cup and European adventure as well. So let's not put the panic button just yet. This is the table as it stands. It is Liverpool at the top, 7 points clear over Chelsea. We're level on points with Arsenal. And then Man City just 2 points adrift. Brighton can break into that top 4 dynasty with a win and everything else going their way. Fulham doing the business at 6. Forest up there as well in a crazy looking top end of the table with the likes of Spurs, Man United, Newcastle, all in the nether regions there. What about the race to avoid the drop? It's Southampton. They look toast. Wolves could make a decision this weekend, as could West Ham. Ipswich as well, also in the shitter. But that's the state of play over there. Meanwhile, over in the Superbru, take a little look at Black Angel there with 15.5 points this past midweek action. Barcelonista with 14, KP21 with 12. I'm a big mover. It does say I'm a big mover. I was a big mover, up 4 spots. Not much of a big mover, but a mover. We'll see why that is in a minute because I can't see myself anywhere in that top. There I am with 8.5 points. Not great, but it looks like it's enough to move the chains. If you see your name in there, please smash that like, smash your subscribe. This was, of course, for this past midweek. The overall leaderboard looks like this with Dream Ali, 144.5, top of the bill there with Lewis R in hot pursuit. Barcelonista, big mover, 11 spots to number 3. That's what I need right now, one of them sort of big movers. I am down all the way down to 40-something, 45th of 4 spots. You're going to be in the top 50 if you want to be cool, kids. You're going to be in the top 50. I'm in there by the skin of my teeth. If you're just outside there, don't worry. I believe in you. I do believe in you. If you do see your name in there, smash your likes, smash your subscribe. Look at Frosty. He's struggling as well. So it just goes to show what kind of a league we are talking about here, guys. If you want to get involved, this is the link. It is 100% free. And, of course, we're going to continue it right through to the end of the season. That's right. What is going to go on this weekend? Well, we've got some absolute bangers, don't we? Including a first one, which is coming at your early door kickoff on Saturday, December the 7th. It's the Merseyside derby. Should we talk about it like this? shall we? I can't do it right now. I actually used to be very good at it. Here comes Everton up against Liverpool at Goodison Park. So this is typical Dyche ball here. It's going to be typical of Liverpool bottling it when they look like they're on an easy street. But anyway, it is the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, which they have played 67 times since 1993. Just 11 wins for Everton, 30 wins for Liverpool, 26 draws. Everton now just one defeat in the last 4. 15 for the table, 14 points for the campaign. Up against top of the spots, Liverpool, 35 points for the campaign, and they're unbeaten in at least the 6 games, probably more than that. However, last time I played at this venue, it was a 2-0 win for Everton. In fact, back-to-back games unbeaten Everton against Liverpool at this very venue. In fact, the last 5 matches, whether it's at Goodison or Merseyside, Anfield, or whatever, the home side has not lost and the home side has not conceded a goal. That's how, of course, big this game could be. Meanwhile, Everton on the back of that 4-0 win over Wolves was a big win, a convincing win for them. Meanwhile, Newcastle and Liverpool drawing 3-3 in a bit of a thriller this past midweek as well. The odds 11-2 is your Everton, 29 on is your Liverpool, 50-4 is the draw. I do like Sean Dyche now. Of course, I can like him now. Now he's not at Burnley, but this is going to be a big one. I know they pulled the rug over Klopp last year, but will they get it over Arne Slot? I think it's going to be tough. I'm going to give it to Liverpool just 2-1 win. It ain't going to be a walloping, and it might even go down to the wire. 2-1 win, Liverpool to take it. They need to bounce back from that slip up to really maintain that dominance in the league. Meanwhile, we've got Aston Villa as they take on Southampton. Of course, a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, December the 7th. Unai Emery's Villa back to winning ways. In fact, they've just lost once in the last 4 now. They're at 8th in the table, 22 points for the campaign. Up against Russell Martin's Southampton, who are rock bottom, just 5 points for the campaign, and they are winless in all competitions. Now, they played 41 times since 1993. We have 17 wins for Villa, 16 wins Southampton, quite tight over the course of those games, and 8 draws. Last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-0 win for Villa, who did the double over Southampton last season, back-to-back clean sheets. In fact, they've gone 3 games against Southampton without conceding a goal. Villa on the back of that 3-1 win over Brentford, they needed that. Meanwhile, Southampton getting stuffed by Chelsea 5-1. They did not need that. And again, that was in their own backyard. The odds for this one, 11-4 on your Villa, 6-1 is your Southampton, 92 is your. This could go. This is definitely a banana skin for Villa. They should win this game, but it could go in favour of the Southampton, but I can't see it right now. But let me just give you forewarning. This could be a banana skin because I just feel Villa not on all cylinders just yet. Southampton, wounded warrior, and maybe Russell Martin running out of time, and he needs a result. He's going to cling on to his job because right now, once El Sacchio goes, West Ham Wolves, a lot more heat will be on that of Southampton if they're going to stick around in this division. Let's go to Brentford then, up against Newcastle United. Tricky one this game for the Geordies. The Brentford Community Stadium, Brentford under Thomas Frank, 58% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 4. They're 11th in the table with 20 points for the campaign. Meanwhile, the Geordies also on 20 points, but they're in 12th. They're actually unbeaten, winless in the last 3 matches. When I say winless, they've actually just lost once in the last 6. They've drawn a couple in quick succession, played 9 times though since 2016. 1 for Brentford, 7 for Newcastle, 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, 6 goals in it, 4-2 it was for Newcastle back in May 2024. The Geordies on the back of that big thriller this past midweek against Liverpool. They also picked up a draw against Crystal Palace. Prior to that, their last win was matched in number 11 against Nottingham Forest on the road. So pretty good. In fact, back-to-back games unbeaten on the road for Newcastle. Meanwhile, Brentford make it very good football here at this venue. So at least 3 games on the spin for them, winning in all competitions, all venues. In fact, they're scoring goals in the last 2 games in the league. They've scored 7 goals combined. So they know where the back of the net is. Meanwhile, 50-8 is your Brentford, 13-10 is your Newcastle, 11-4 the draw. This could be a draw, but I'm going to give it to Brentford. I think they are better at home than Newcastle are on the road, and Newcastle's form is just meh right now. They're getting draws. It gets good, bad, and ugly, so they will just fall short in this one in my eyes. Meanwhile, Glasgow could be about to cause another upset here up against Man City, who, they got the win past midweek. They had to win. They were at home against the Nottingham Forest side. This one should be another win for them, but Glasgow has slowly but surely turned it back on again. Just one defeat in the last 6 for them, 17th in the table, 12 points for the campaign up against City. Just one win in the last 6. They're 25% form for them. They're 4th, 26 points as well. A busy week for Man City. 3 games in the course of 10 days. I think Manchester United next in the league. They've also got Champions League action this week. But played 35 times since 94, 6 wins Palace, 22 wins City, 7 draws. The last time they played at this venue, 6 goals in it as well, 4-2 in favour of Man City. There have actually been plenty of goals in the last 3 of these games. If we look at it, 6, 12, 16, 17 goals in the last 4 games between these 2 clubs. So they know how to play. Meanwhile, Palace on the back of a 1-0 win over Ipswich to make it 3 games now unbeaten. Man City, though, with a 3-0 win over Forest on their own backyard as well. 92 is your Palace, 7-4 on your City. 60-5 is the draw. 3 o'clock kickoff. All eyes on this, maybe, except for me, because I'll be watching Hull. Gonna go, I don't know. I think, yeah, just about giving it to Man City. I feel Palace could also cause an upset here, and maybe get a point, but realistically, Man City will not lose this game. If I'm going to give you anything, they will not lose this game. Man United, though, they're up in action against Nottingham Forest, and Ruben Almiron needs some more convincing. That's right. Up against Nottingham Forest under Nuno Espirito Santo, who are doing great right now, of course, considering they're in 7th, 22 points for the campaign. Up against United, 13th, 19 points for the campaign. They could, in fact, leapfrog Forest with a win if everything else goes their way. Played each other 15 times since 1994, 11 wins for Man United, 2 for Forest, 2 draws as well. 75% form for Man United, just 1 defeat in the last 6. That was the last match. Forest, though, losing 3 of the last 4. They're coming crashing back down to earth. Last time they played in the league at this venue, 5 goals in it, 3-2 it was for Manchester United, who do come into losing to Arsenal this past midweek. And of course, Forest losing to City as well. 13-8 on is your United, 92 is your Forest, 3-1 is your draw. As much as we want to doubt the new coach, and still the same problems are there, and they appear to be, going to give Man United the win here, 2-0 win. And that, of course, potentially could push them into the top half of the table. Meanwhile, Fulham, who are flying high up against Arsenal in the Emil Smith Rowe, Alex Iwobi derby. That's right, coming at Craven Cottage on Sunday, December the 8th. Marco Silva's boys are in a 6th spot right now, 22 points for the campaign, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Arsenal, 75% form for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6, but winning 4 on the spin. They are, of course, 3rd, 28 points for the campaign. Now, they've played each other 34 times since 2001, just 4 wins Fulham, 23 wins Arsenal, 7 draws between 2 sides. The last time they played at this venue, 2-1 win Fulham. Goodness gracious me! In fact, they rose through last season without losing to Arsenal in back-to-back games, both at the Emirates and also here at Craven Cottage. So pretty good recent form against them. They also picked up a 3-1 win over Brighton. That ain't no easy feat. Also picked up a draw against another London club, Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal on the flip side, back-to-back wins. In fact, 4 wins on the spin and scoring goals. Scoring, 10, 15 goals in the last 4 games. You do the math on that bad boy. The odds for this one, 70-4, your Fulham. 7-4 on is your Arsenal. 10-3 is the draw. Now, as good as Arsenal were against Man United, they got themselves back into the title race, you would think, from the draw. But if they lose this one, or if they don't win this game, really, surely it's got to be over for Arsenal, but I think they will just get it. When I say just, I've got 3-0 win there. Convincing win in the end. Meanwhile, this was a tricky one over at Portman Road. It's Ipswich Town up against Bournemouth. Of course, Kieran McKenna's boys in 18th spot, just 9 points for the campaign. Winless in the last 3, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Bournemouth under Andiono Raiola. They are 9th for the table, 21 points for the campaign. They've won 3 out of the last 5 on 58% form. Now, these 2 clubs have played 4 times in 2013. There's never been a win between them, goodness gracious me. 4 draws out of 4. And of course, including the 1-1 when they last played at this venue back in April 2015 in the Championship. Ipswich, though, back-to-back games now without a goal. Up against Bournemouth, back-to-back wins, big wins as well, beating Wolves, of course, in the Gary O'Neill derby, and then beating Tottenham in the Dominic Solanke derby. The odds for this one, then, we're looking at Ipswich 5-2 for the victory. Even Stevens is your Bournemouth. 11-4 is the draw. So it looks like Bournemouth are edging it. This is pure, it's the rub of the green. It's rubber football. It's going to, apples and pears, all that kind of stuff. Ipswich will win this game at home. Bournemouth did pick one out of the bag there this past midweek against Tottenham, but they'll lose this one. It goes like this. You win some, you lose some, 50-50. And Ipswich will get a big win, a massive win as well, to move them hopefully out of the bottom 3. Then Rude boys up against Brighton. Of course, welcome to the hot seat. Ruud van Nistelrooy up against Fabian Hüsler's Brighton at the King Power Stadium. That's right. Leicester 60th in the table, 13 points for the campaign, of course, on the back of a win. Brighton, of course, under Fabian Hüsler, 5th in the table, 23 points for the campaign, just 1 defeat in the last 4, but they're on 42% form for them right now. Played each other 28 times since 2002. We have 13 wins, Leicester, 7 wins, Brighton, 8 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 2-2 draw back in January 2023. Brighton, 3 games unbeaten against Leicester. Of course, Leicester on the back of that 3-1 win over West Ham. Brighton losing to Fulham, of course, could only draw against the Saints most recently. So, bit of a blip in the radar there for Fabian Hüsler's boys. The odds 50-4 is your Leicester, 10-7 on is your Brighton. They are favoured here. 40-5 is your. I don't think it's that plain sailing, guys. I don't think it's that plain sailing. I think Ruud, new manager, bounce. I think they'll get something here. I think I'm going to give them all 3 points. Again, not flashing, not 3-0, nothing fancy. 1-0 over the line, business-like performance. Get some momentum moving. Of course, for the busy period that is, of course, December and January. So big win for Leicester. Meanwhile, what a game we have! I would say it's probably the highlight of the weekend. But the El Sacchio has also got a lot of flavour on that one as well. Let's go talk about Tottenham under Ange Postelegro's boys up against Chelsea and Enzo Marquez. And I saw that Chelsea fan Rory piping up there about Ange's boys. It's a perfect tonic for Tottenham Hotspur fans is to see them do a nasty on Chelsea at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Just 1 win in the last 6 games for Tottenham. They're 10th at the table, 20 points for the campaign, 33% form up against Chelsea, who do look good right now. They slowly somehow have clicked into gear and are a threat, a serious threat. They're second in the table, 28 points for the campaign, 92% form for them right now, winning at least 5 out of the last 6 games. They haven't lost the last 7. They played each other 74 times since 1993, just 11 wins for Spurs, 41 wins Chelsea, 22 draws. The last time they played at Tottenham, 4-1 win it was for Chelsea, who did the double over to Spurs last season. Spurs, though, on the back of that 1-0 loss to Bournemouth, that was a shocker. In fact, they haven't won in the last 3 games. They haven't beaten anybody since they beat Man City on the road. Chelsea, though, scoring for fun, scoring 10 goals in the last 3 games combined. You do the math on that. The odds here, 11-5 is your Spurs, 11-10 is your Chelsea, 14-5 is the draw. So bookies backing Chelsea. I think this will probably go with Chelsea as well. This is the way they're playing. And I just think Tottenham's confidence is shot right now. This will be a great response from Spurs here, beating Chelsea, get themselves back on track with Europe around the corner. And then hopefully maybe a cup quarter final not far away here. So it's an important 10, 12 days for Spurs, this. Beating Chelsea, winning in Europe, and then whoever they're playing next week in the Premier League, and then following it up with a win in the quarterfinal against Manchester United in the Cup. That should stop the rot for Spurs. But then we go to El Sacchio. It's West Ham, it's Wolves. It's the battle of the W's coming at you at London Stadium. Jolan Lopetegui just 1 win in the last 5. They are 14th in the table, 15 points, 15th in the 15 points for the campaign. Up against Wolves and Gary O'Neill. They were doing all right for a bit, but they're in 19th spot, 9 points for the campaign, 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn 2. Back-to-back defeats for Wolves, back-to-back defeats for West Ham. They played each other 21 times since 2004, 11 wins for the Hammers, 9 wins for Wolves, 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played competitively at this venue, 3-0 win it was for West Ham. In fact, the last 3 at this venue, West Ham have won convincingly. When I say convincingly, without conceding a goal. So they should be favoured here. Lopetegui failed at Wolves as well. Don't forget that. He failed at Wolves. He's failing at West Ham. Gary O'Neill definitely doesn't have the pedigree or the resume to outfox Lopetegui. So if Wolves were to do the unthinkable and beat West Ham, then seriously, question marks have to do it. A draw, which this could very well be a draw. I don't know. Does that give them a state of execution? Anyway, West Ham losing to Leicester most recently. Everton beating Wolves. The odds for this one, of course, we're looking at it right here. Around 10-9 on is your Hammers. 29-10 is your Wolves. 40-5 is the draw here. It could be a draw, but I'm going to go West Ham. 2-0 winners in the end. That's right. To take the 3 points, keep them in a job potentially. And of course, maybe Fireman in the other hot seat. That's, of course, the link to the prediction shows there. Of course, get involved, get invested. And, of course, we'll see you on the other side, guys. It's non-stop football right here on Blabbing OC's channel all the way through to the end of the year and beyond. But until then, subscribe, smash the like. Catch you later. We're done.